Hello, all my friends in Professor Causey's EEC 300. So this is the tutorial video showing you kind of step by step how to do how to set up your ThinkLink, which is going to be our resource for all these families that are stuck at home right now. And this is our way of engaging them via the internet. So after you read through, first read the details on the assignment itself, the one that has the rubric in it. Read Dr. Causey's email like it says to do in those directions, and then you can watch this video at your leisure and refer back to it, which you probably will have to do. It took me a little bit to understand how to use ThinkLink, which I really ended up liking, but you kind of have to work it for lack of a better term. So how you start, once you've kind of compiled your research and you've divvied out your job descriptions between you and your partner, and you've talked about it, you have a game plan, and you really want to start diving into setting up the infographic and then what is the ThinkLink, then this is where to go. So, and that's the key. So you start with, and if you've looked at the example, then you know what the finished product is, but how we get there is I started with the infographic. ThinkLink itself will pull in, you can get images, but this way you're just making your own detailed image that is tailored to this assignment in order to get the end product like I did. So I use Vengage when I go to create my infographics. I found this template. I thought it was very simplistic. It's very appealing to families, I think, who, we're considering their time, and we're considering accessibility here. Accessibility, one of those. I think it's, anyways, accessible, either way you say it. Okay, and then I always choose a color scheme to work around. And when you're building this, you want to keep in mind that it's going to end up looking like the one that is the example piece. It has out to the side here, if you see my cursor, it has all of the hot links, is what we'll call those, the hot links that blow up when you when you mouse over them. So compile your resources, have an idea, maybe even draw it out on paper, what you kind of want it to look like. Once you find a template, then go in, start working with the template, put in all your information. You may have to go back and forth between this and ThinkLink. And so getting down to the nitty-gritty of it. When you're finished, building it is easy. When you're finished though, hit the download button. You're going to want to export it as a picture. Okay, you're going to want to export it, and then it's going to bring it up. You download it, okay, and that's how you're going to then go into. So I'm going to log into ThinkLink now. You're going to go in, and then with your ThinkLink, it's going to ask you first off how you want to sign up for ThinkLink. What you're going to want to do is you want to free teacher. You want to sign up as a teacher. Okay, that's important. You want to sign up as a teacher. Okay, it's not going to make you pay anything. It didn't make me do anything. Don't worry about the 1,000 views. We probably won't hit that, most likely. I doubt we will. That's per each one of these. Just don't worry about that. And then when you go to create, you're going to want to upload the image. That's that JPEG that you had. And then that's when you're going to go in and you're going to upload the infographic. And this is where then you take the next step from let me get out of this one, where you go from just it being an infographic with nothing, no hot links, no live links, no videos or anything, and then you come in and you start to add the links, and it's easy. There's literally one thing you can do here, and that's just add the tags. If you're going to say embed this video like I did, what you would go to add content from website. If you are going to Most of the rest of these are just this first one, which is why it's really the first one, add text and media. It's kind of a catch-all one. You can also just know you can go in here and change the icons. There's not that many, but you can change the color if you want to. So I did this introduction slide. That is a requirement in the rubric. That's how we came to that decision. If you want to, though, and what I considered doing, and if I was going to do it again, what I would do is I would add more of these slides that looked like this, that were more of a discussion piece, that came in and within each of your another requirement within each of your sub-criteria, your subtopics, excuse me. Then it can detail those further and say, like I did here, pulls in another quote, statistic, finding from the book, our one of our resources, the Child's World text, and maybe link that to something else that you found. And you said compare these two or think about these two. And the rest of these I think are still the same. Just make sure you're sending them to appropriate websites, obviously. This one's the podcast. I didn't embed the podcast just because it has other things on that website. You can embed the images. It pulls up the images like this. Once you've done that, you've worked through, okay, so where we're at now, you've worked through creating the infographic, you've worked through pulling it into ThinkLink, and now you are going, so you're done. Okay, this is it. We want the final product, and this is the final product I did. Make sure you add your resource page, kind of somewhere off to the side, preferably. Then what you want to do, okay, this is important. Settings. Alright, again, this is important. Settings. Title it. Public. This is what I was saying was important. You need to make it public. And then when you save it, then you go to, where's the button? Share. Yeah, right there. Okay. Then you're going to want to just get the link. Preferably hide the interface. You want to hide that interface, okay? Otherwise, it's going to come up with a bunch of weird borders. And you just want them to be focused on your content. So you want to copy that. If I did that, here we go. There it is. But see, if I don't hide the interface, then what you're going to get is, it's going to have stuff on it. It's going to look like this. And they're going to start clicking on other stuff, so hide the interface, okay? That's what you want to do. Copy link. There we go. Go to it again. If you have any issues, you can email me. I'm pretty good at troubleshooting. We'll troubleshoot it together. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Stepping back. Let me rewind. The way I did these, for a simple way, if you want a little quick and easy way to do things like this, the intro page and this the works cited, I just went to Google Slides, and what I did is I typed everything out like that. I stuck with my color scheme. I think that really helps people it helps the readability, honestly. To download these, what you want to do is exactly that. You want to highlight, so you want to click on one of these out to the left, you want to go File, you want to go Download, then JPEG again. And it's just going to download the one you're highlighted on. If it ever catches up. There it goes. Okay? So, and then I did the same thing. You go back into the ThinkLink where you go into edit it, and you can also you hit that plus right there to add image or video. You can add more than one too, and what it'll do, it'll come up, I'll show you, it'll come up like this, where they can scroll with the arrows. While I'm on this introduction, here in bold at the bottom is another part of the rubric, which is a requirement for the assignment, and that's what you have to do. At some point, you need to tell them, you need to explain briefly how to navigate a ThinkLink, in case theirs is the first one that they click on and they have no idea what this website is, or how to deal with this platform. So just give them a quick, like I said, just read mine for example. Really, that's it. That really is it. I think, let me go back through everything. We went through all this. Yeah, while always refer back to this rubric as you're building this and going through the steps. Provide current research. We decided that is a definite necessity for this kind of project. Attention grabbing, yeah. So one thing I'll note: this attention grabbing stats and facts. The way I covered this, instead of cluttering up the page, what I did was things like this: signs and symptoms. Here's that. Here is what is considered your quick facts, your attention grabbers. So it's still there, and it's still very obvious to them. That's the first thing they're going to read, right? Instead of just giving them the entire article, that in which case they're probably going to be like, too long, didn't read, not going to read. TLDR, if you young children are familiar with that acronym. Anyways, okay, that should be it. Again, email me if you have questions. And thank you for watching the tutorial.